Hey everyone, welcome to Keto and Crime. I thought today we'd do something a little different, a little fun. We've been, kind of in the dregs of unhappy things for a while, so I thought I would break the monotony. Don't worry, the Zulema reaction is coming, I guarantee, and it will be closer to Halloween when I upload that. Maybe just after, but it will be closer to Halloween. So we've got a couple of fun things that I thought we'd do. If you saw my video on the Candyman killer, which if you haven't, I'll link it right up there. Need to watch that. I used as the background for that a 1977 Halloween safety film that was scary in its own way. But so I thought I would react to a Halloween safety film. Since you've already seen the one from 1977, I thought I would fast forward a little bit to one from 1985, which I was actually 10 at that time. And that's the era that I actually went trick-or-treating, so I thought I'd have a better understanding of this. So, if you're born in the 70s, a child of the 80s, let's dive in and enjoy. I think it'll be fun. And it'll kind of break the monotony of all the doom and gloom true crime for a little while. So, let's dive in, shall we? Much better music than the one from the 70s. Oh, I remember those masks so well. They were the oxygen suckers. They were impossible to breathe in. And it's obvious that they don't have any brand deals, so they really can't show the popular stuff like He-Man, She-Ra, all the things that that we remember from the 80s. These are obviously all generic horror characters or characters from 1950s movies.
Halloween is really a special time, isn't it?
Yes.
Especially for me. You can see why if you know who I am. Look up a little.
Show yourself. Oh, that's cute.
I sit up here and watch everybody in masks.
I think I remember being shown this in elementary school. I really do. So let's take a look at this and see which dangers are actually worth talking about, really.
And makeup. I think about how much fun Halloween is. I also worry a little bit about the things that can spoil the fun of Halloween.
Nothing
Those
spoils
kinds
the fun
of
of
things
Halloween. Nothing.
For instance, look next door. That's where Corey lives.
Corey, have you got that pumpkin ready yet?
Corey's going to carve a pumpkin with her dad.
Weighs 50 pounds.
That's a...
Are Corey and her father aware that you're watching them, Mr. Pumpkin? I mean, I know it's the 80s, but still. Oh, and look at that kitchen. See that yellow? We had that exact refrigerator. I really think that refrigerator will outlast all of civilization. That thing is probably still running. You cannot kill a refrigerator made in the 70s or the 80s. You just can't kill them. They keep running. And if this house has wood paneling in any room, I think it's possibly a true 80s house. Just saying.
It probably weighs close to that.
Probably.
Come on here and set it down.
Okay.
And get the paper straightened out.
How's that?
That's fine. Have you decided what kind of face you're going to make on it yet?
A happy face.
I'll do that.
My father would have already had the newspaper slapped down. He'd have thrown the pumpkin out there and said, "Now watch me," and then repeat what I do. That was how he taught me to carve a pumpkin. No, it's not.
But first you have to draw a face that you can carve.
You gotta be careful.
Corey's doing that.
That's a nice pumpkin face.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can cut the top off now.
Then you cut the top off so you can scoop out the insides. It takes a sharp knife. And you know sharp knives can be dangerous if they're not used right. I'm glad that Corey's father is helping her. It's much safer.
You know what's even more dangerous than a sharp knife? A dull one.
Eager to get inside?
Yeah.
Go ahead and pull that off.
No one is excited to get inside. It's gross.
Yeah.
I keep them in my room from year to year, and I touch them every day, Daddy. I think I have a problem.
Part. Gotta start cleaning it out.
Getting my inside scooped out tickles me.
Is that what the kids are calling it now?
Good.
For her pleasure.
So far, it's been fun. But look at Corey's hand. Kinda gooey, isn't it?
Yep, and that's what they make soap and water for, Corey.
Can you imagine how that knife could slip and maybe cut her? I hope Corey will do the safe thing.
See? And I believe we had that faucet too. Ours had the little handle on top where you go, phoop.
Safely too. Cut slowly, carefully, in small slices, and always cut away from yourself.
Thank you.
Make sure
Until she accidentally slips the other way and stabs her father. I mean, hey. I've seen unsolved mysteries. It happens.
help you if you need help. That's the
Just because someone's older than you does not make them an adult. Make sure it's somebody with the mentality of older with you. Please.
going to spoil her Halloween fun. Carve carefully. That's one way to have a Halloween that's fun and safe. But what about having a candle burning inside your pumpkin? Well, I'm sitting on brick. But a candle and a pumpkin on a wooden porch might not be safe at all. A flashlight could be a lot safer then.
About as safe as people that try to fry turkeys in their garage at Thanksgiving. You know, but us rednecks will do what us rednecks do.
Outside of jack-o'-lanterns. You know why. Well, not everybody carves a pumpkin on Halloween. For instance, look across the street there.
Have a real problem with this pumpkin just peering into random children's houses. I mean, I don't know if that's a felony. Just saying.
Do you see what I see? Robot is Jeremy in his costume.
This is the type of costume that everybody else would have made fun of when I grew up. I never saw anyone wear anything like this. This is just when your mother decides she's going to be the master crafter and put this together. We had one guy that wore like a homemade costume, and it was very clunky, and when we got to school, he took off half of it and just like wore the mask or something. But we would have made fun of this kid. He would never have worn that in public, and probably his mother has forced him into it. I guarantee his mother has forced him into it.
Oh, just you. How do you like my costume? You look great.
He's lying to you, Jeremy. He's lying. He wants to see the fun when you go to school and people laugh and point.
Well, it may look great from the outside, but from the inside, things don't look very good at all. He can't see very well with his robot head on, and I don't think the rest of his costume lets him walk very well.
Nope.
He can't use his knees.
How are you going to walk in that? I don't know.
It's hard for Jeremy to keep his balance. If Jeremy went out like that, he might keep losing his balance all the time.
Which would be dangerous yet fun to watch.
He might fall down just anywhere, and probably everywhere.
My wife, I swear, if that was our son, my wife would take him out and hold his hand so he didn't get in any trouble, but she would just watch and laugh as he fell because she would be stupid is as stupid does kind of thing.
When you fall on them. And so do streets. And streets are especially dangerous to fall down on. Jeremy has to be able to walk better if he doesn't want to spoil his Halloween.
I know this is the 80s, but today you could recreate that costume with, something more bendable, like reflectix. You could easily make that where your knees could bend. So there are better ways to do this.
There, that's better.
Yep.
A costume shouldn't make you trip or fall. That's not safe. It should be easy for you to move in your costume. And you have to be able to see where you're going.
Look, Jessica.
A mask that makes it hard to see could get you into all kinds of trouble.
So widen the eyes.
Jeremy can see well now and move safely in his costume too.
Very nice.
Now I'm gonna try.
Much better.
She can't see much with her mask on.
That's what I'm saying. Why, in all the years that we've had like store-bought costumes, why haven't they improved the eyes? Have you noticed that? They're still teeny. You still have to cut them out, and they never accommodate people that wear glasses. I mean, I always had thick coat bottle glasses, so from like fourth grade, so I would put on a mask and like stumble around. I could only really put on the mask when I went up to a house. The rest of the time I would like put it on my head, you know, pop it up, and then I would walk around. And when I got to a house to get candy, I'd pull it down, trick or treat, usually with the bag over here because I couldn't see, and they would have to reach over. Oh, poor little Tracy, that's just how she is. And then I would take it off and walk to the next house. That's usually how I did it. So they have not improved costume technology in like 50 years, I swear.
It's too big for me.
A monster needs an ugly face. But does it have to be a mask?
Nope, you can just take the mask off and tell your ugly kid to watch. I'm not saying the kid's ugly, but that's just the joke that came to mind.
Makeup can be just as good, and it's always...
Or you could cut the eyes out wider. Take a knife or scissors and just make the holes wider. That's all she needs, and she'll be able to see out of her mask. No need to make her up with makeup.
Just don't get it in your eyes.
Oh, I would get it in my eyes. And they're not accounting for when you sweat and it's running and you look like Braveheart. I mean, it's...
If you're not too good at putting on makeup, get an adult to help you.
Please get an adult.
Make sure your mask and costume let you see well, and they won't spoil your fun on Halloween. Of course, the reason you get all dressed up at Halloween is so you can have fun going trick-or-treating.
I'm assuming she or he. I'm not sure because as a little girl, I had very short hair, so I kind of look like a little boy at some points in life. So I'm not sure if that's a little boy or a little girl. Not insulting, but the child is obviously the wolf man or a werewolf. Like I said, they didn't have any brand deals where they could actually do like Star Wars or Optimus Prime or anything. So I just think that's funny.
All the children out
I
in their
bet you do.
costumes. But when I see
looking at people's houses.
know about crossing streets safely, and I hope you don't either. That's especially important when drivers can't see you well. And for you to see the cars well, it's a good idea to take off your mask when you cross. Even though it may not...
My father made me walk, as I said, walk with the mask on my head until we got to the house.
to make things outdoors hard to see. You and the
That's
cars.
about 50 points there. You run by real quickly with a wiffle bat, and it just...
I see children look to their left for cars, then right for
Now
cars.
that Viking costume is cool. That is hella cool.
Again before they cross. You mustn't forget all the safety rules you know on Halloween, and especially because it's dark. It's safest not to cross between parked cars. That can be very dangerous. And don't cut across yards or empty lots. When it's dark, you can't see what's there.
It could be a claymore.
Remembering safety rules is very important on Halloween. There's something else that can help keep you safe outside when it's dark. You'll see right away. Yes, just as I thought. They're coming up my walk now. The people who live in my house like to take pictures of the children who come by.
That's probably the scariest part of this movie. That phrase right there is the scariest part of this safety film.
Not tricks, please.
Okay, we're gonna take a picture for a treat too. Everybody smile.
We're going to take a picture for a treat, too. Okay, it's the 80s. I guess I gotta forgive them, but... tact.
Now you'll see what there is about their costumes that makes it easier for drivers to see them when it's dark. See how easy it is to see the bright colors in the costumes? Bright colors are easier to see at night than dark colors are.
See that, the child here with the red face, he's like, freak's taking a picture of me. He's the only one that gets it that the guy shouldn't be doing that, taking a picture for a treat. The 80s. Love them.
But there's something else. Some parts seem to glow from the camera flash. That's how those parts will look when car headlights shine on them. Those are just pieces of special tape that reflect light very well.
Reflective tape like you put on a bicycle, or used to put on a bicycle.
Tape like that on your costume and on your trick-or-treat bag. Some costumes already have reflecting material on them. Making your costume and your bag easy to see makes you easy to see. And that's a good way to help make Halloween safe. The safer Halloween is, the more fun it is, for you and for me. That's what I think. But
Yeah, but you're a pumpkin.
have a strange idea of fun. They think it's fun to mess up other people's things with paint.
Yep, always somebody has to ruin it for everybody. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't egg people's yard. Okay, I'm kind of on the fence about rolling yards with toilet paper because we used to do that when I was in high school. And only to people that we actually liked. And then we'd always volunteer to come over and help them clean it up. But I'm kind of on the fence about that. But anything else? Don't do that.
They don't think about how the people feel whose things are ruined. And some people think it's fun to throw things at cars and houses.
That will take the paint right off a car. Don't ever throw eggs or just don't throw things at people. Don't spray paint things. And like I said, rolling the yard can be fun if you volunteer to clean it up afterwards.
But the people whose things they're messing up don't. I don't either. It isn't fun to spoil other people's things and make them unhappy. Some people even think it's fun to smash pumpkins.
No, 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 no. Oh, you little creep. Break that kid's leg. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. Sorry.
It really is. I do.
I know it'd be fun teaching that kid a lesson. Not in a violent way. Just maybe take something that's precious to him and threaten to put my foot through it.
And I know they do. Trick-or-treating is always fun. But there are some things you should remember to help keep it fun. One thing is to always go out with friends. And have an adult come along, too. Don't ever trick-or-treat alone. And if someone you don't know very well invites you in.
Look, tonight. Would you like to come in? I have more treats inside.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. And those are the most terrible. I mean, you have the little Pal bubble gum and then those nasty peanut butter toffee things. No one eats those. No, never go inside a creepy lady's house. If you have more treats, bring them out. There's no need to have the children come in and tour your house of horrors.
Say, no thanks. And don't eat the treats.
I wouldn't even come in just based on the fact she gave those nasty peanut butter things. I'm just saying that. And the Tootsie Rolls and the ones in black and orange packaging, those are terrible.
In your own neighborhood, don't get too far from home. Don't worry, you'll collect enough treats. People are expecting you. And even if you don't stop at houses with no outside lights on, which you shouldn't, you'll have a wonderful time at Halloween. Some of you will probably still be out when it's really dark. That's when flashlights are an especially good idea. To help you watch out for places you...
That's what that 1970s film was missing, when it asked you to gouge everything out of your mask and then shorten your broom and change the color of your costume from a witch with a black costume to one with a white one. That was just... Instead, you could have just given that same kid with the witch costume, without ruining it, a flashlight. And the car would have been able to see her and everything. So we got a little smarter in about 8 years. That's good.
But remember, don't shine those flashlights into anybody's eyes, especially a driver's eyes. That could be dangerous. It isn't hard to have a safe Halloween. Just look how easy it is to see those children when they cross. They wouldn't want an accident to spoil their Halloween fun. I wouldn't want that to happen either.
I like to watch them when they're in their houses all year long, because I'm the spy pumpkin.
Lori and Jessica and Jeremy, it's almost time for them to head for home. But what do you do with all the treats you've collected? A lot of them are things to eat, of course, but you don't eat them all. Not right away, that's for sure.
Oh, speak for yourself, Mr. Pumpkin.
And there might be some grown up to help you decide.
You just throw all those out on principle. Anything in a solid orange or solid black wrapper, you just throw all those out on principle. Because they're nasty and they'll pull every tooth in your head out. Just saying.
Fun to play tricks with your treats. Watch out for candy.
And here we go. They might poison your candy thing, which, as we have stated from our Candyman video, 99.9% of them are someone that the child knows, and it's a deliberate attack on that child, not children in general. But, you know, if it makes you feel better, great. Well, you wouldn't want to eat that anyway. I mean, even if you bought that at a store and you found that, we won't do it. It's just kind of like, you know, what happened in Chicago with the Tylenol in the 80s. You know, anything that looks like it's been tampered, you wouldn't want to do that.
Before you eat them. Cut fruit into pieces before you eat it, just in case something's been stuck in it. Watch out for things.
You would notice a razor blade or something that was in the middle. You would notice the cut on the skin of the apple. I mean, it's an apple. It's not a feat of engineering genius. Nobody's giving away their drug or their marijuana to anybody intentionally.
Or even poison.
Yeah, that's just old. That's just old candy from last Halloween, and they decided they'd pawn it off on you. No, I wouldn't eat that. No comment. Why isn't there a bag in that trash can? Why? Anyway, yes, I agree. Throw away anything that's not wrapped. I don't understand the whole purpose of giving away unwrapped stuff.
I hope you can have the most fun you've ever had this Halloween. Halloween can be a scary time, not because of witches or ghosts that we know aren't real, but because of real things that can spoil our fun. Just remember these few important things I've told you about. Carve your pumpkin carefully. Make sure that you can see. And make sure people can see you. Remember all your safety rules, and take off your mask when you cross a street.
Trick or treat!
Trick or treat in your own neighborhood, and don't keep any treats that don't look right.
And don't let creepy men take pictures of you. Just say, I'm still hung up on that. But anyway, that's the Halloween safety film, a vast improvement over the one from the 70s that we saw in our original Candyman video. Hope you enjoyed this. Just thought it was a nice way to let our hair down. I'll be back next week, which of course is Halloween, with my top 25 horror films with the Atheist Edge, Jim Hall, as well as my Halloween skit, yearly Halloween skit, which I think you will enjoy. The subject is zombies. I think you will enjoy it. And possibly the Zulima reaction. If not, it will be out in November, as well as anything else I had to push because of all the Valo updates. And with that being said, thank you so much, and until next time, keto and crime out.